Hello and welcome back to MoonClan. My name is Frosty, and today we are picking up where we left off last time. So, in last episode for MoonClan, Frost Whisperer started feeling a little bit better. And side news, so am I, just a little bit. And not too much else really happened. We are in the dead of winter, and unfortunately, quite a few cats have gotten sick and injured, leaving only Lilac Chaser to care for the clan. We do have a few new additions in the form of an orphaned litter as well. So we'll see how our little cold-themed cats grow. But without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it today with our time skip. Alright, so moving into Moon 24 for the clan. We are already 2 years into MoonClan. Looks like we are starting off with a very exciting ceremony. As the sun sets, bathing the clan in golden light, Sparrowstar initiates an apprentice ceremony. When Willowpaw is called, their eyes glow with anticipation. When Sparrowstar names you as the mentor, your heart pounds with a mix of shock and pride. You walk forward, shoulders straight, eyes meeting Willowpaw's. As you touch your nose to theirs, a sense of determination settles within you. From this moment onwards, their journey is your journey, their triumphs, your triumphs. So, looks like we finally got an apprentice in Willowpaw. Which honestly, all things considered, Frost Whisperer is definitely a little bit young, but Frost Whisperer's own mentor was younger when they received us as an apprentice, so it's very exciting that we are embarking on a new path with Willowpaw. So, these are some new interactions for me. You stand guard for the night, your gaze steady on the forest's edge. It's quiet, too quiet. Followed immediately by danger lurks near the camp. With a low growl, you alert your clanmates ready to protect your home. So I don't know if that happened on the same night or if that happened on separate nights, but it seems that we are being pretty well entrusted with watching over the clan at night. Or maybe for us that's during the day. And something of some sort was approaching the clan for probably less than beneficial reasons. I wonder what kind of danger that was. We are now into New Leaf, so it really could be anything. Stonefruit informs you that you are scheduled for yet another midnight patrol. Seriously? I guess that sticks with the theme that we are getting a lot of nighttime patrols in. You share a haunting tale with the apprentices. I wonder if that would have anything to do with what happened here with us standing guard and alerting our clanmates to danger. Or maybe it could just be an elder's tale that we've heard one too many times that we decided to retell for ourselves. Whiskerpaw has excelled at every task placed before them. Despite their young age, they are more than ready to be a warrior. They are given the name Whisker Streak, honoring their hard work. Liarpaw has reached age of 6 moons and has been made an apprentice as well. Frost Whisper tells Weaselreed to count on them in a difficult situation. High positive effect. We do have quite a love-hate relationship with Weaselreed, our sibling. But with that being said, last time we did help Weaselreed get to the medicine cat den after we woke up realizing that they were sick in the middle of the night. Possibly alerted through Frost Whisper's dreamwalking capabilities there. And it looks like Weaselreed may be opening up to us a little bit more after that. Which is good, even if he is the closest thing to a rifle we have right now. Sparrowstar appreciates Frost Whisper telling them that they had a feather stuck to their face, so positive effect. With the end of winter, it looks like our end to Medicine Cat troubles has also come. Ravensong's brain is feeling much better. Though Hollowpelt and Missypaw have both gotten a running nose. The running nose is possibly related to allergies, of course. It is New Leaf, so fingers crossed that doesn't develop into anything worse. Streamkit woke up with a mild headache, but got up to play anyways, trying to ignore the nagging pain. Poor little Scrap, but one headache isn't a bad thing. Migraines could be a bad thing. Let's go ahead and check out some of these new cats here. So here is Whisker Streak. She is only 10 moons old, but has become a warrior all the same. She currently wants to critique Coyote Pass fighting techniques, so maybe she's getting a little bit too arrogant. She is presently mellow and a dormouse, taking after her parent Tulip Stripe quite a bit there. But both of those traits are still subject to change as she grows. Until she's 12 moons, and really even a little bit beyond, there could be a lot of changes still to come. Whisker Shriek was mentored by Tulip Stripe, who influenced her to be more likely to have a positive outlook, refrain from socializing, and heed their inner compass. Tulip Stripe helped them become better at self-care. That's a new one, but I'm assuming that relates to the whole sleeping habit. When they graduated, they were honored for their hard work, and their training went so well they graduated early at 10 moons old. Liarpaw doesn't think that they've been performing up to the mentor standards lately. Their mentor is Sky Scratch, but they are only 6 moons old, so they still have quite a ways to go in their development in the clan. That being said, they are insecure, so it'll probably take her a little while to really settle into the role. She's also interested in clan history, which will be interesting to see how that develops. And then we have Willowpaw, our own apprentice, who's currently thinking about how cool it'll be when they are a warrior. She's adventurous, steps lightly, and looks for trinkets. So adventurous is definitely going to be a little bit of a handful for us as a mentor, especially with our little bit more of a reserved nature. Steps lightly, I'm assuming, is going to contribute to a sneaky trait, maybe? And I'm not really sure what looks for trinkets could develop into, but I guess we'll see. Sparrowstar is currently busy planning out priorities for the day. We did talk to him before, so we'll go ahead and talk to him now. Did you see Snowkit earlier today for us, Whisper? Oh, StarClan, it was the funniest thing ever. They mistook a twig for a snake and flew like 5 foxlings into the air, ha ha ha. So our choices for that one are That's Not Very Funny, which, to be fair, it's really not when it's a kid, and hilarious. Let's just say it's not very funny. No, since when were you above that type of humor? You gotta lighten up. You don't have to take everything so seriously all the time. It'll give you gray hairs. Well, our pelt is already gray, so. Oh well. Ravensong is currently playing a prank on Spot, our parent, so I'm sure she's very pleased with that. Lilac Chaser has been hearing the voices of StarClan cats. With a deep StarClan bond, that's not really surprising, but it does make me wonder if anyone has anything to say to us. So we just got Blue Runner here, who is currently hoping they are a good deputy for MoonClan. Morbius Bear, who does want to warn Bayfur. And lastly, Grey Kit, who's currently judging Bite Spec, possibly for the whole mess and cat thing. But those are our only cats in the afterlife, outside of Birchpaw, who is our guide. So it looks like nobody's really trying to get to Lilac Chaser specifically, but somebody is trying to warn Bayfur. So maybe Lilac Chaser gets that message across if she's hearing voices. But it looks like Bayfur is just mediating a couple's relationship, so nothing too dangerous innately happening there. Okay, so nothing really is going on with us right now. We are still aloof in a dream shaper, so nothing's changed, and we are currently talking to ourselves. Since we do now have an apprentice in Willowpaw, we will be going out on patrol with them. We're going to try and prioritize training where we can. Now that New Leaf is here especially, we can hopefully get away from pure hunting and border patrols. Up next we have Weasel Reed here. Who knows, Lyra will make a great clanmate someday. We did have a very good talk with them this moon, so we'll go ahead and talk to them again. Maybe we're just visiting them in the Medicine Cat Den while they recover. Thanks StarClan, the weather is finally starting to turn around. Pretty soon we'll be blessed with clear skies, sunny days, and all the prey we can eat, haha. Hopefully. Looks like Moonfern is having some thoughts about her current role in the clan. She's currently feeling the weight of responsibility in shaping young minds and spirits. As Moonfern recounts a story about a misunderstood loner, Shrinkit laughs and makes jokes, showing little regard for the character's situation. Shrinkit, who will be made an apprentice next moon, has compassion 1, intelligence, and empathy -1 both. So not looking great for Shrinkit. Sorry if you can hear the cats running around. I'm not sure how well this microphone picks them up. It's supposed to be a little bit better with nearby noises, a little bit worse with the far-off noises. When Fluffroar tries to play with Frozen Kit yells that they'll shred Fluffroar to pieces one day after losing in a play fight. Not looking too good, but they're pretty young still. Shrinkit is currently hiding from other cats. Maybe she's nervous about the aforementioned ceremony coming up. Especially since she was adopted by Sparrowstar, that's gotta be a lot of extra pressure for her. But Frozen Kit is a little bit more grown up. She's got very interesting dark green eyes there. She's currently asking how old her kits are born. Then we've got Snow Kit, who's hiding from other cats. And then finally Cold Kit, who's regretting eating a bug that they caught. Cold Kit will be very pretty when he grows up. A cat you have a crush on seems down lately. You want to do something to cheer them up. We'll go ahead and proceed. You decide to share a humorous story from your apprentice days. They listen attentively, and by the end, their mood seems lifted. They thank you for making them smile. I still don't think we actually have any cats that we are interested in like that, but obligatory relationship check anyway here. Honestly, at this rate, I'm starting to wonder if we would ever have a mate or kits. At least with the cats that we currently have in the clan. I kind of think that we would end up inevitably falling for somebody who comes into the clan later, which is going to be difficult since we're very aggressive towards outsiders. Alright, we currently have 111 pieces of prey when we only need about 60. So we're definitely going to be splitting up some of these hunting and training patrols with the apprentices now. And for storytelling purposes, let's go ahead and start off with training Willowpaw. We want to hold a training session for Willowpaw, and we decide to focus on tree climbing. Willowpaw listens carefully as the proper techniques of tree climbing are explained. Looks like Willowpaw isn't so adventurous that she is rushing ahead of us at least. And it looks like the skill of light-footed doesn't really translate to sneaky like I thought, but it was grace and finding. So honestly, I think Willowpaw has a lot of potential as a great warrior moving forward. So hopefully we don't mess her up too much. I'm gonna send the medicine cats out together this moon because Lilac Chaser, while she's getting better, still has those moments of indecision. And I want her to gain some confidence by patrolling with Ravensong, who really did take to healing like a duck to water. And they decide to look for herbs while discussing the news. We gather some burdock as they discuss the latest signs from StarClan and ponder what to do about them. They think of some tentative plans, and they return to camp to discuss them with the leader and deputy. I wonder if that's related to the warning that Lilac Chaser got from, I think it was Morbius Bear. Alright, these are all the cats without apprentices, so we're gonna stick to the same strategy and send them all out on border patrol together. And, naturally, as we're marking the borderlines, a gang of rogues strides out of the brush, challenging the clan cats. With a patrol like this and Sparrowstar, our fierce leader at the helm, and our likelihood to antagonize over any other options, I don't think Sparrowstar is going to take this kindly, so we'll antagonize as well. We descend to battle without a second thought, eventually driving the rogues away. Nice and easy. Oh, I don't think I've actually seen this interaction yet. It's almost dawn when the deputy rouses Liarpaw for their assessment. Already, no wonder they're feeling stressed. They are meant to find Sky Scratch posing as an enemy warrior somewhere in a territory and handle the situation. Sky Scratch could be anywhere. Well, let's proceed and see what happens. Admittedly, they knew they weren't ready. Liarpaw can't find Sky Scratch, and by the time sundown approaches, their mentor appears to take them home. Liarpaw cannot help but feel like a failure after this. Back at camp, they see Sky Scratch's whiskers twitching in amusement at their predicament. Okay, so poor Sky Scratch was probably falling around poor Liar Paw the entire time, and Liar Paw, being a brand new apprentice, could not get up to the task. And that's honestly probably why they were feeling like a failure and so down earlier. Alright, the last few patrols went good. We got some additional prey, and the apprentices learned from their mentors. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our next moon now. You engage in a play fight with the kits. Their laughter and joy remind you of your own kithood. You and your patrol successfully chase off a rival clan. The victory yowls echo through the forest. During a gathering, tension rises between the clans. You remain vigilant, ready to leap to your clan's defense. I don't think that's how you spell defense. But anyway, looks like we are off of the midnight or noon high patrols, depending on which way you want to view MoonClan's baseline for wakefulness going. It looks like it's a little bit more light-hearted, minus some tensions that may have resulted off of us chasing off a rival clan. I still can't help but think that Clay Clan is our current adversary for the most part, or at least our main antagonist amongst the clans. They were very prevalent in the beginning, and I don't really see that just going away. As the clan cheers for the new warrior, Comfreyfoot, Tulip Stripe purrs loudly. Their kit is finally a warrior. A new journey has begun for Comfreyfoot, and Tulip Stripe knows that Comfreyfoot's hard work will lead them through anything. MoonClan welcomes Flood Mask as a new warrior, honoring their hard work. Lots of ceremonies this moon. Greenfin sits in the crowd, chest puffed down in pride as they watch Misty Paw be named Misty Fluff, and honored for their dignity. They consider themselves lucky to have been able to train such an amazing young cat, and look forward to seeing the warrior they become. And then looks like Misty Fluff immediately gets an apprentice. Streampaw touches noses with Misty Fluff and hopes that they'll get to hunt first so they can make sure the clan is fed. There must be a lot of belief in Misty Fluff for Sparrowstar to immediately give them an apprentice straight out of their own apprenticeship, with so many more experienced warriors now free. But honestly, it kind of seems like Sparrowstar has been prioritizing giving every cat an apprentice before giving the same cats apprentices over and over again. That has, good and bad to it. It means that a lot of cats will get a chance to be a mentor, which means really any cat could be deputy, if and when Stone Fruit steps up as leader or steps down as deputy. And on the other side of that, that means that apprentices can get a little bit more diversity in how they're trained and what their strengths and weaknesses could be. And of course, there could be one mentor that stands above the rest that does not get multiple apprentices, is the downside. Looks like we've got some medicine cat drama going on here. We're able to work together with Lilac Chaser on something, with a small positive effect resulting. Weasel Reed prays they aren't on patrol with us, so it looks like whatever warm fluffy feelings we were developing are immediately offset. But Raven Swung swats favor prey with us. Alright, we've got quite a few running noses going on. Hollow Pelts and Missy Paw's running noses are gone, but Pigeon Fleck has gotten one instead. And Little Paw has recovered from green cough, that's good. I was honestly really worried about Little Paw not making it through green cough, but luckily, at least a new leaf with the warm weather starting to settle in, hopefully that was enough. And Shrinkit's headache is also gone. Judah Shade was trying to fluff up their nest when they saw a thorn inside of their bedding. Another prank, but it couldn't fool them. Sparrowstar is currently giving some advice to Frozen Kit. And Stoneford is considering a unique approach to organizing the patrols. He's had quite a few run-ins with just us being unhappy with how he's been organizing us. So it's very possible that he's taking in some criticism and trying to please more of the clan. Raven Song is currently interpreting a prophecy, maybe something that they discussed with Lilac Chaser last time. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Well, if it isn't Frost Whisper, what can I do for you, Fessface? What, don't like my nicknames? Heh, I swear it's a term of endearment. Ah, duty calls, I gotta run. Always good to see you, though. I'll catch you later, okay? Lilac Chaser currently has listed complaints for Sparrowstar. So for to assign me on a solo patrol for tomorrow. I don't know what they're thinking. Is it some sort of test, or are they trying to get me killed? You ask Lilac Chaser if maybe Stonefur just genuinely thought that they were the most qualified cat for the job. No, that couldn't possibly be it. That's probably honestly what Lilac Chaser is going to Sparrowstar to complain about. And as usual, we are going to go ahead and randomize Bayfur here. Greenfin was mistaken for an otter. I'm assuming because of just how much time he spends in the water. I changed some settings on my microphone, so if anything sounds a little bit different, then that's probably why. Just messing around with some things because I just want to make sure the audio is as good as I can get it. We are currently wondering what the inside of a two-leg den looks like, but nothing else of note's going on with us. Weasel Reed wants to critique Greenfin's fighting techniques, but he's got to get better before he's got any legs to stand on. And we are going to go ahead and insult him since he was thinking negatively of us once again. Go dig a hole and bury yourself in it, Snakeheart. Looks like we're getting a little bit past the friendly rivalry argument here. Well, it looks like Whisker Streak has evolved from Dormouse to leader of Snooze Clan. Well, I guess she is taking Teal Strike's default and taking it a step further. So, very mellow indeed, I'm sure. Then we have Comfreyfoot, who is now a warrior, of course. She is witty and a camp keeper. And now that she is a warrior, she will be freed from her two-leg accessory there. But any further infractions of that nature, she will be exiled. She can no longer hide behind apprenticehood after all. Comfreyfoot was mentored by Stonefruit, who influenced them to be more likely to refrain from socializing, use words over teeth and claws, and behave erratically. When they graduated, they were honored for their hard work, graduating at 11 moons old. Then we have Floodmask, who is craving the taste of shrew currently. He grew to be grumpy and a sun high log, which I am assuming means that he is passed out cold somewhere in the camp come sun high, taking a nap. They were mentored by Swanspot, who influenced them to be more likely to be friendly towards others, have a positive outlook, and heed their inner compass. When they graduated, they were honored for their hard work, graduating at 11 moons old. It looks like Swanspot did not have that much of an influence on Floodmask, or Floodmask only took the heed their inner compass to guide them straight to the center of camp to take a nap. Because he is grumpy, which is not necessarily friendly or positive. Up next we have Misty Fluff. I'm really curious to see if he is going to grow into that fluff description. But he is lonesome and apparently a co-leader of Snooze Clan because he also likes to sleep. Misty Fluff was mentored by Greenfin, who influenced him to be more likely to have trouble adapting and be cold towards others. Greenfin helped them become better at self-care, so that explains the upping the snooze. And when they graduated, they were honored for their dignity, graduating at 11 moons old. Looks like Little Paw is all grown up. He's a little bit behind the others because he was sick for so long, but he grew to be adventurous and oddly resourceful. Or I think that's what he was before, actually, but he's getting there. And he will be a warrior sooner than later regardless, so can't wait to see what's in store for him. It looks like our apprentice is sneaking off to Two Lake Place to explore. So that's great. As long as she's not getting into too much trouble over there, that's really all that matters to me. And then here's Dreampaw, now 6 moons old. She is thoughtful and curious about StarClan, and she is currently eavesdropping on Whisker Streak. Snowkit bravely charges at Moonfern to take the Moss Ball, stealing it from under their paws and winning the round of the game, gaining them a point of courage. And then here's Fluffroar, now all grown up, currently sharing a rumor with Hollowpelt. He is presently cunning and a listener of all voices, changed from multilingual. And I think gloomy. So gloomy multilingual turned to cunning listener of all. So I think that probably is him becoming a little bit more confident and learning how to listen to the kids, because that is obviously who he's going to be interacting with the most. Cold Kit becomes frustrated when they can't find the things that Fluffroar hid for them in the scavenger hunt. And kits are all doing good. So let's go ahead and do our LifeGen patrol. The clan leader assigns us to lead a hunting patrol. It's our chance to prove our leadership skills and help provide for the clan. And of course, we're going to try and proceed. But despite our best efforts, the patrol struggles to catch enough prey. Well, if we still caught prey, that's ultimately all that matters. Lilac Chaser gathers goldenrod, while Ravensong gathers nothing. Alright, let's go on training patrol with the youngest warrior apprentice pairing here. We suggest that this might be a good chance for the cats to practice teamwork, particularly with Willowpaw. It's good to see the progress Willowpaw is making with their training, and Frostwhisper makes sure to tell them so as the patrol works on their ambushing strategies. Well, Willowpaw, I think, with Grace, is still going to be the best one at that. Sky Scratch takes Liarpaw and Littlepaw out together in order to see some of the territory, and we come across a porcupine. Sky Scratch points out the cascade of spines lying flat on its hairy back as the porcupine snuffles happily around the forest floor, sounding like a happy newborn kit in a nursery. Liarpaw looks a bit disbelieving, so Sky Scratch darts towards it, making it throw its back up at the cats in a full threat display. Spines just as fluffed up as Littlepaw's pelt. I can imagine how jarring that would be. Alright, our border patrol is going to be made up of a little bit of a different distribution here, but I'm trying to break it up with the more experienced, least experienced warriors again, now that the flood of apprentices is stemmed a little bit. So, not just a little insight there. As our next patrol is checking the border lines, we notice a Crooked Clan sent to straight into the territory. We are most likely to antagonize, and while I don't think this is a threat, I do think we are going to antagonize. It's a trespass that will not be tolerated and should be reciprocated. We blatantly spread our own scent on a territory, ruining the clearly marked lines and worsening relationships with Crooked Clan. Alright, and with that I think we're going to go ahead and jump into our last moon for this episode. You attend a gathering, the various clans meeting under the full moon. The shared peace and stories fill you with a sense of unity and wonder. So I guess whatever tensions we were feeling have passed. During a thunderstorm, you shelter in a hollow. The wild dance of nature leaves you in quiet awe. An unknown scent trail leads you to a rogue's hideout hidden deep within clan territory. On high alert, you decide to report back to your clan leader. Ooh, that's scary, but I'm sure we sent them packing pretty quickly. And finally, you comfort an elder who's feeling unwell, their grateful purr echoing in the quiet den. I can only imagine that once again our dream walking gift came in handy there, with us sensing somebody who's feeling unwell, be that physically or maybe emotionally if they're remembering a hard time or a lost loved one. And, you know, we either comforted them in the dream or we were there for them when they woke up, or maybe some combination thereof. Sparrowstar calls the clan to meeting and declares Little Paw to be a warrior. They are now called Little Heart and are celebrated for their spunk. Little Heart sounds a little bit more like an insult, but I don't think it's meant to be such. Frost whispers rethinking how they feel about Icy Ice and decides to give them another chance. So maybe Icy Ice is the one that we were comforting. Pigeon Flick's running nose is gone, but Stonefruit has gotten one instead. Weaselreed is no longer coughing and sputtering, with their case of green cough now cured. Misty Fluff wasn't looking where they were going, and they tripped over a small trunk, spraining their paw. Well, at least the green cough is gone. And Bite Speck is caught outside of the clan's territory. I think that still counts. Let me just go ahead and double check my own rules here. Okay, the only mention of territory is if we're found on another clan's territory. That being said, I'm going to count this because the odds of us, picking a border that isn't on another clan's territory is slim. Ultimately, at least 3 of our borders are probably being occupied by another clan, and only 1 wouldn't be, so since we really haven't had a lot of interactions like this as a whole, I'm going to count this as a strike for Bite Speck. Alright, that was his first strike, and to be totally blunt, I don't see him living old enough to accrue 2 more. But it'd be a very interesting day indeed if that did happen. He's currently wondering how Willowpaw is doing though. Sparrowstar is currently listening to stories about Grey Kit. Poor Grey Kit. Stonefruit is hoping for a break, so maybe there's been a lot of stress happening, either with those rogues that we found or just in general. And he's not taking it very well. Ravensong is thinking about taking on a new apprentice. And Lilac Chaser is eavesdropping on Pigeon Flick. I definitely think I'd like to see another medicine cat come in sooner than later, but we can't really make a medicine cat. And as usual, we will randomize this. Ooh, Whisker Streak. It looks like we currently want to visit the elders to hear a story. So I guess we will go talk to Icy Ice for that story. And just in general, I can see us again being a little bit closer to the elders and cats our age otherwise would be. Weaselreed is currently complaining about being sent on Dawn Patrol. And here's Little Heart. He is adventurous and a philosopher. That's what he's grown to be. So again, I think Heart was meant to be more genuine than the little makes it sound. And he saw a two-leg kit playing with a dog. They are mentored by Weaselreed, who influenced them to be more likely to be slow to anger and be cold towards others. Weaselreed helped them become better at thinking outside of the box, and when they graduated, they were honored for their spunk. I'm assuming the spunk has more to do with adventuring than philosophy. Whisker Shriek is getting a nap in before their patrol. Nothing's changed, but she is 12 moons now and all grown up, which is a very interesting look. I still love her little, mole-looking snout there. And then here's Comfreyfoot all grown up. She looks very interesting with kind of that washed out gray striping on the black belt with the white markings. It's just overall a very interesting effect together. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of it, in all honesty, but maybe it'll grow on me. And it looks like she is now witty and a camp keeper. I think that's different. And then finally we have Flood Mask, who is also now all grown up. Nothing changed there, still grumpy in a sun-high log, and he's hiding in a tree to sleep unbothered. So I can definitely see him still being very capable as a warrior. He just has to have the right motivations. In his case, that's finding a sleeping spot. But same sort of critiques. I'm not really a fan of the gray on the black anyway, if I'm being honest, but with the white, it really makes for an interesting combination. Then we have Missy Fluff, now grown. He's not apologizing, even though everyone knows they're in the wrong. Nothing else has changed for them. But this is what Missy Fluff will look like healthy again. And it does look like he lives up to the fluff designation indeed. Looks like Liarpaw has grown from being nervous to sneaky. And she got caught trying to sneak out of camp without a warrior, so I'm guessing that this is a relatively new designation that she has not yet honed yet. Icy Ice is currently complaining about their nest being too rough. We invite them out to patrol through the forest with us. I think I'm okay. I'd prefer a quiet night in if that's alright with you. Make sure you're careful though. I'll try and cover for you if you get caught, but no promises. So I guess whatever weird tensions going on between us has not been resolved on Icy Ice's end. Moonfern tries to teach Frozen Kid about the dangers of eating herbs without consulting the medicine cat. They seem more engrossed in playing with a feather instead. Fingers crossed poor Frozen Kit never comes across any kind of berries on patrol because they will eat them. And their intelligence is now -2, so bless them, they are not a very smart kit. And it looks like Cold Kit is not faring much better. Cold Kit yells that they'll shred Fluffer to pieces one day after losing in a fight, intelligence -2. Here I'm trying to focus on other traits, and I still just keep tackling their intelligence in the worst ways possible. Frozen Kid is annoying older cats. Snow Kid is crying quietly, and Cold Kid is asking older cats how kittens are made. So the queens definitely have their paws full over there in the nursery with whatever is going on there. For our LifeGen patrol, we noticed an unfamiliar scent on our borders. It's our responsibility to investigate and ensure the clan's safety. It definitely is, and while this isn't really specified in the challenges, I do think it makes sense that we were forced to proceed here because there is something going on with the border. We successfully tracked the scent to a lost loner. After guiding them away from our territory, we returned to our duties, satisfied with our vigilance. Well, I guess that's the best possible outcome, though I'm a little curious if the LifeGen patrols are just flavor and like ways for us to get more experience, or if we could have actually recruited somebody by doing that. Ravensong gathers mallow, and Lilac Chaser gathers plantains, so we are slowly but surely rebuilding our stores. While out training together, Willowpaw starts an argument with Frost Whisper about the technique they're working on. With a deep sigh, we hold back our temper, surprising, and instead sit down to explain our reasoning to the young cat. They can see why Willowpaw thinks differently, but practicing this way will help Willowpaw build muscle better than taking the cheap way out. Willowpaw also sighs, apologizing for their outburst. Floodmask spies a fat rabbit on the other side of the Bliss clan border. Once again, I feel like I'm not seeing these clans, but maybe I am. A tempting opportunity to be sure, but may not be wise. Let me see real quick if any of these are a must proceed. So we must proceed if a cat is bold, arrogant, oblivious, confident, daring, or adventurous. I don't see any of those traits, but I definitely argue that arrogant is in there. That being said, we do have a lot more negative traits than positive ones. In fact, I'd argue we have all negative traits, so fierce is technically neutral. So, that being said, I am really tempted to proceed here, but if Sparrowsar gets caught out, then we're going to proceed because I think it makes sense, but because it's Sparrowstar, I think we're going to just say that nobody gets in trouble. We're just doing this out of the arrogance of our leader. The rabbit hops away and Floodmask sheepishly picks himself up before noticing Bliss Clan cats watching them from the other side of the border. They know exactly what we are intending to do and turn away, presumably to report the incident to their own leader. We didn't actually trespass, but our relationships have worsened all the same, and we still bring back some prey to camp. We have a pretty large hunting patrol here when we hear distant howling and wonder whether to investigate. I really shouldn't, but I'm curious, so we're going to proceed. We track the noise and discover a coyote scavenging off a carcass. It's a predator we can't fight, and instead a patrol returns to camp to report the intruder to the leader. Perhaps they can return later to take what the coyote leaves behind. I mean, it's better than some of the alternatives there. Spot, not greenfin, surprisingly, leads a successful fishing session with everyone walking home with a fishy mouthful. We get a huge amount of prey. So we are now at 195 when we need 67. So we can definitely take a little bit easier on some of the hunting patrols in the coming moons here. But I do think that's where we'll go ahead and leave it off here. Things are quiet and uneventful, which isn't a bad thing. It beats there being something constantly happening within the clan. But we are approaching a time when we are going to be turning on the natural disasters, possibly. So after that, we'll see how easy things really are for us. I usually have that on from the get-go, so I'm definitely not used to a quiet start. It's been a very interesting change of pace. But with all that being said, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. Feel free to check out links in the description. There are a few there for my Twitch, which I'm trying to go back to being live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's been a little bit up in the air the past few weeks because this infernal cough is just not going away. And hopefully by now I'll be back into the swing of things though. So feel free to give me a follow over there. After all, it's free. There's also a link to Discord if you want any kind of access to some of the backstage things that are going on and sneak peeks into projects, like the one that should be coming out this week. I'm excited to see where that project's gonna go. So, with all that being said, thank you as always to Parental Units for supporting the channel. That is greatly appreciated. And until next time, stay safe, stay happy. I'll see you then, and bye.